Sandpiper, huh?
Jimmy McGill.
In an unprofessional capacity, keeping his clients. This is a good use of his time, I feel like, as long as he's not breaking his agreement.
You haven't settled yet?
Aaron Brill of Davison, Maine.
Erin.
Yes, I have met her.
Now, Jimmy. No.
It's wonderful.
Yes, good.
It's probably all here in this box.
I mean, this is probably not super kosher, I feel.
Sometimes I can't even,
What's he gonna find?
I can't even.
Go on.
You haven't accepted this?
Aaron says we should wait.
Erin doesn't really matter, does she? I mean,
Oh, I wonder. Why have I got a sneaking suspicion? Last episode, rock bottom, relapse, not good. Jimmy's not doing well. At this point, is he looking for a fix? I mean, he's trying to get money as well, right? We know that. Is he trying to get her to accept an offer, a settlement offer that she maybe shouldn't, but he's trying to get some money to her, so maybe he's going to take a cut of that somehow? It's where I'm going. It's where my mind goes, considering what I know about where Jimmy is right now.
I don't know about all that, Jimmy. I just leave it all to the professionals.
Good, as you should.
I mean, money now is better than money later.
Because that's the question. Money now or money later, and he wants money now. Very interesting to see Sandpiper come back into it.
So, on 1/15th.
He's working out how much money he'd get from that. So would he just get a cut?
1,160,000.
What? Hello and welcome to another Better Call Saul Sunday. That's right, the show that happens every single Sunday until we are finished with it. Today we watch full Season 3, Episode 9, the penultimate episode of Season 3. And without further ado, let's get into it. Amazing. Man having the best time of his life.
Can I get you anything to drink? Tea, water, espresso?
No, I'm fine.
Mike, always take the coffee, mate. Lydia, okay. Yeah, Madrigal. So interesting to see these guys meet, because I immediately think of him literally holding her at gunpoint.
Mr. Fring has arranged to cover FICA, Social Security, the entirety of the tax burden.
Dude.
I have you down as a logistics consultant.
Nice.
What is that?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter.
To be fair though, it would to him, I feel like.
Well, I'm not long on logistics.
Yeah, because if anyone ever comes to him and asks him about that, it breaks down. He knows that.
Security consultant would be better.
Yeah.
That'll look better on your work history than your current employer, SMQ Parking.
Ooh, judgy.
Who knows this operation?
Vetting her. Of course he is.
I am concerned about what happens if you put my real name in your books.
It's a big deal, so fair play to him.
This is the first time I've done this for anyone.
Special boy.
I don't know what you do, but
He's good at it.
Mr. Fring must think you're quite good at it.
Yeah, he really likes Mike, huh? I get it though, and I think they've seeded that relationship really well in the show.
What?
Go on.
This is a very nice office. Seem to be risking a lot for a drug dealer.
Why are you getting judgy, mate?
If that's all you think he is.
Yeah, for real. He doesn't know Gus at all, really.
You don't know Gustavo Fring.
Yeah. Why would he? God, I see this picture and it makes me lament Walter and what he did and the incredibly disruptive spanner that he was in the works of this operation. It was perfect. It was so airtight. It makes you think how embedded this stuff, this operation, this kind of business is in real life and how many people are getting away with it.
Let me understand you.
Wow, Chuck's here. He is doing well.
You shouldn't take it personally.
Yeah, Jimmy really hurt him.
A senior management level partner who would supervise Charles' work, attend court and client meetings with him.
What you're saying is that for any case Charles takes on,
You have to go with him.
another partner would be tied up as well, and we don't bill a penny more?
You gotta take it.
You're hoping we'll either find another carrier or cut you an enormous check. Win-win for you.
Well, yeah, that's how they work, dude.
You're going to do right by us, or we will compel you to do so.
What do you mean by... If you're threatening litigation, I'm afraid this meeting is over.
Then it's over.
Oof. Hardballing him again, Howard. It reminds me of that time before the bar meeting where Charles came up against Howard. And Howard didn't like it. And I think Howard very much disagreed. And I think the way that bar meeting went, the consequences of it and how it finished, and it obviously blew up in HHM's face, and how I think Howard's got to be thinking now, all of these times that I have disagreed with Chuck and let it ride and let him have it. And the thing that he's got to be thinking now is that bar hearing and how that blew up. And I do feel like Howard is primed now to come up against Chuck. And, we saw that look there again. We've seen that a lot in this series so far, and he's not said a word. He's just gone along with it. And I think we've seen it again now. And I think considering the events that have happened, he is primed to go against Chuck now and actually stand up for himself, which I think is good. And I think he needs to do that for his own character, for his own growth. I saw a few of you a couple episodes ago when the insurance stuff came into it, talking about how cutthroat cutthroat, how corrupt and exploitative insurance companies are. Absolutely agree. It's gratifying to see Chuck go against them like that. At the same time, they did do wrong. It's interesting. It reminds me of last episode with Jimmy, with the guy at the community service. He was wielding the law in this very toxic way, but you're on his side because of the context that we know. Exact same thing. As much as the insurance guys are almost the bad guys here, by the rules that govern us, they are right. And Chuck and Howard did mess up and they did skirt the rules. But at the same time, because of the context and who they're talking to, I'm on Chuck and Howard's side here. It's just interesting. Sorry, I bring it up because it's interesting how the show arrays these situations in ways that are contrary almost to how you should feel based on the cards at play. I think it's a recipe that makes like Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad so good, because there's so many almost conflicting, contradictory, so many ingredients in the meal that just complement the entire thing, that work all at once, that make it such a full meal of a show.
I'm sorry, I don't have the code sections at my fingertips just now.
Howard?
Week they'll be sitting at the table. We've never shied away.
Man, these boys do pull drinks quite often, don't they? This is a work day, mate.
Chuck, do you remember Al McConnell?
Yeah, we're sticking around. I think Howard's gonna...
He's a professor at UNM now.
Is that where you're gonna push Chuck?
Okay.
Okay, he's doing it subtly. I think he's going to try and push Chuck away into that, and Chuck's not going to take it well. It's going to be like, what's this about? And then maybe we're going to get it at Howard. But he's trying this first, right? He's trying to avoid the issue, which is understandable. You know, I think Chuck is someone who is very much a role model, someone he's looked up to for a very long time. And it's only now that he started to, like I say, see these cracks and, not only the cracks, but in the way that it's harming him and HHM and this reputation. He's given Chuck a lot of leeway in regards to the reputation question. And this is why I'm so harsh as well on Howard in regards to that with Kim, because he doesn't give Kim the same respect. He doesn't give Kim the same leeway. I understand why. Chuck and Kim, very different people with very different context to his relationship with those two people, right? One is an employee, someone under him. Chuck is someone equal, a partner. I get it. I do get it. But I do feel like the discrepancy between the way he treats both of them is a little bit skewed, right? It's a little bit too much leeway that he gives Chuck to a little bit too much that he exploited Kim for it.
What are you talking about, Howard?
Chuck doesn't want that.
Maybe it's time to hang up your spurs.
Yeah, that face. Chuck knows. Chuck can feel this.
You always said you wanted to work on the commerce.
He's not done. That's the thing. I don't think Chuck's done. We saw last episode that he was so eager to get back to work. You know, he was so eager to get on with his life. And I feel like to him, this is almost setting that old life, the life that he really wanted to get back to bed and moving on and moving forward. And the road to retirement almost, I think is what... I mean, like, you know, I just think that's how Chuck is going to see it. And we saw last episode he wants to get back to being a lawyer, getting in the courtroom.
And no longer be a practicing lawyer.
Yeah.
That day is far in the future, Howard. And I don't appreciate the suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to be honest.
What if it's not a suggestion?
Hello, they are. Come to blows.
If enough people tell you that you're drunk, maybe it's time to sit down.
Ooh, that's a blow.
The insurance?
It's not just the insurance. That's
Yeah.
the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah. Fair.
So this is about my condition. Look!
Difficult.
See? I'm better.
Mate, behave. You're not better. Sorry. Just quickly. This is the thing. This is what's difficult about this, because it's like, considering what's going on with Chuck in this room, you know, considering the things that have happened. Look, if you strip everything else away and you look at Chuck as a man who has this mental condition, who is slowly coming back to work, I think it's kind of unfair and discriminatory, honestly, for Howard to come at him and be like, you should retire. You should go on that path. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, not give him a choice over the matter, right? Because that was the threat there. But I do think, considering all of the context of all of these moments, and you'd have to go through all of my videos when I've brought attention to it, all of these moments where Chuck has been this overbearing hand on Howard. You know, for the last 3 years, Howard has been essentially the head of HHM, right? Chuck's not really been there. He's been running the show. And I do feel like for his arc, for his character, for his person, at this point, he deserves to be the boss. He is almost sharing that throne with Chuck when Chuck hasn't been there for 3 years, right? And I think there has been a lot that Chuck has done or said that Howard hasn't agreed with, that he's just gone along with, you know, for so long. And I think considering all of that context, I completely understand why Howard is coming at... I mean, you know, I've seen this coming. I've been seeing this coming for a while from Howard. Him standing up for himself and standing up against Chuck for everything that's going on. I think it goes past his mental condition. You know, I think it extends to his relationship with his brother, the way that he has not put the firm first. It's an interesting situation. I think this on its own, a man with a mental condition coming back to work, it feels discriminatory. And I think you can read it that way, but I don't think that reading of the situation is taking into account the full context of everything that's happened, truthfully. But you know what I mean? It's difficult. It's difficult. Everything that I've talked about is in play here.
This is not what fine looks like.
Yeah. Good on him for that.
Your decision-making has become unpredictable.
Fair.
I can't be partners with someone whose judgment I don't trust.
Yeah, and he hasn't trusted it for a little while, I think. We've seen that in all the looks it's been given Chuck.
Chuck.
I think Howard approached this, and what he just said, I think was absolutely fair, warranted, and it was honest, more importantly. And I think that's what it needed, the situation needed. I respect Howard for that.
Surveyor said that the next nearest pool extended to...
I feel like this situation is going to take a toll on Kim and Mesa Verde and their relationship. She's going to fall behind on work.
I wish I'd called you sooner.
She's good.
Pretty sure the tax boy's gonna take me apart.
And that's 2 weeks from now.
It's a lot of work in a short amount of time, buddy.
I can do it by then.
Can you?
Holders.
No. Yeah, I don't love the name of this episode either. Fool. You know, who's fool? What fool? Interesting, isn't it? The name of last episode and this episode almost playing in tandem with one another. Slip last episode. I was expecting big repercussions and it was just Jimmy. I think it was just a reference to him slipping. Considering what I thought it was going to be with Nacho and Hector and messing up and slipping over that, it was decidedly less in the consequences of that. And I feel like it's almost easy now for me to see the episode of this called Fall and be like, they're just gonna, it's gonna be nothing. It's gonna be something light. It's gonna be fine. And I feel like because of the last episode, that's why I'm thinking that. But I feel like that's kind of almost lulling me into a false sense of security, and whatever Fall is coming is gonna be big for that, especially considering it's episode 9 of a season. So sorry, it's interesting how the way that they played the name of the last episode is playing in my mind this episode with the name that they've gone with for this one too. Oh God. No. Oh my God. No. Kim, please. Please. My goodness, don't do that to me. I don't need that. I don't need this. Hello. This is the first meeting that I think they've got one-on-one but since the hearing.
Is this about Chuck?
Who? Sandpiper. It's time to settle. You hold out, maybe you squeeze $1,000 more for each client. Meanwhile, HHM nets a few million. You know, you're screwing the clients for your own benefit.
Now you're worried about the clients.
He has been for a while, mate.
All you care about is your share of the payout.
This is, yeah.
It's like talking to Gollum. You're transparent and pathetic.
Bit rude. But he's right, though.
You want a handout?
Seriously, wow.
Here.
Yeah, his view on Jimmy has really gone down, understandably, and we've seen that. And I think valid considering Howard's perspective.
Next time, why don't you bring a tin cup and be more honest?
The thing is, he's right, though, I think, in this circumstance, about Jimmy's motivations.
And if we don't, what are you going to do? Leak some insider info to Schweigert? I know you're low enough to do something like that.
Oof.
You'll get your damn money. You're just going to have to wait for it.
You know, I agree with Howard's reaction there. I think that was fair. Hello, unexpected scene. Oh God. Oof.
Yo nunca pedí esto. No lo quiero.
Ooh, is Hector gonna move? Oh. Ooh, yeah, this is the thing with Nacho's plan. It's a bit long game, isn't it? Relies on him not having his medication, not taking his medication over a period of time. Clever as well, because he used ibuprofen. I don't really know what Hector's going through physically and how it feels to him, but obviously it's going to dull any pain, right? So it's still going to be having an effect that is tangible to Hector. Why is it whenever I see anyone in like so much white, I'm like, mate, just don't shit yourself, please. Like, I know that's a really weird thought, but do you know what I mean? Like, you wear too much white and that's always the danger. Like, there's absolutely no way that it's more likely that you're going to poo yourself, right? There's absolutely no way. It's like when you pack for going on holiday and you pack like double the amount of underwear just in case you poo your pants every single day. Because you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you get a bug, do you know what I mean? I'm just saying, man, you wear like a full, it's the exact same concept, right? You wear full white and you're like, mate, if I shit myself right now, there's no way of getting out of this. Everyone's going to see. Sorry, I'll move on. Oh, hello. Yeah, he's still beating this dead horse, okay.
You're a mall walker?
Do you know what? I love malls. It's like airports. I don't know what it is. I love walking through them. Love walking in them. It's chilling. It's calming. All the fancy stuff in the shop windows, you know?
These have special gel. It's like walking on pillows.
Wow, we going this deep. Is he going to try and like sell some of these shoes to all of the ladies?
They're quite stylish.
He's going full slipping Jimmy now. Man, yeah.
Don't tell the other folks I gave them to you.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
An investment. Yeah, it's the start of a con, isn't it?
If Irene settles, he'd get some money.
Yeah, he's working them all.
You see someone buying nice new things.
Like those shoes.
There it is. Jimmy.
She's like your congressman.
He's going to burn his relationship with all of these ladies, I think. I think he's going to get what he wants because he's working them good. But I think they're going to go to Irene and it's going to come out. Irene's going to know and he's going to burn his relationship with all of them, which I think Jimmy is at this point okay with. I say that. No, he's not really. I think, again, we've got to remember, I think that he's in the throes of a relapse and he's going hard. Everything that we've seen from Jimmy for a little while now, you know, last episode, going into this episode, has been slipping Jimmy. That's all we've seen of him. That's his story arc right now. And so that's why I'm not really talking about it in terms of moral finagling or whatever else. Like, it doesn't really matter anymore. I've said that a few times in regard to some of these situations. Like, the morals of the matter don't really concern it anymore. It's more down to circumstance. Helen! Oh, bless her. Irene's such a gem, man. You know what, Jimmy? I don't love what you're doing to Irene here. Man, there's always a Pandora, isn't there? Oh, bless her. She doesn't deserve this.
Nacho, estaba quedando dormido viendo las noticias.
Sorry, this is why I mentioned it was a long game earlier, because it's like, it's kind of integral for it to happen quick, because otherwise he's going to have to, maybe he's going to do it now, talk to his dad about what Hector said. That's why speed is important.
Un hombre va a venir a tu taller muy pronto.
Right.
Él va a querer dirigir el lugar y tienes que permitírselo.
Yeah.
¿Y quién es este hombre?
Yeah, and how do you know about it, Nacho? I think this is gonna disappoint his dad.
Hector Salamanca.
Salamanca.
Trabajando para ellos de nuevo.
Again, right, okay, so there was maybe a promise that he wouldn't work for them again.
Sé lo que estás pensando y...
Right.
Puedes gritarme.
It's interesting, isn't it, how with one line it gives you, as the audience, a lot of context as to what's going on here. When he was a little bit younger, clearly he worked for Hector. His dad knew, found out about it, was like, don't stop it. And up until this point, he thought he was out. It gives you so much context, you know, and it's one line. I've been working for them again. The way that this was set up in the reaction that his dad had there, followed by that line, it gives you so much as the audience, and it fills you in without like flashing back, without giving you any extra dialogue. It gives you everything you need to know about the situation, the context, and what's happened in the past in an expression and a line. That is special kind of writing. That's brilliant writing. It's minimalistic but so effective. Yeah, bless him. Nacho's in like full DEFCON, like save my dad mode.
Haz lo que dice y esto terminará por unas pocas semanas.
Also demonstrates intelligence from Nacho's side that his dad must have been looking out for that. His dad knew about it. He knew that his son might go, you know, and Nacho's kept that from him. Like, how's he done that? As far as I'm aware, Nacho has been pretty heavily involved with Hector. That's all he does. You know, obviously he's been in the shop too, but he's kept that from his dad, which takes cunning and intelligence, you know, so it tells you a lot about, again, a character that we haven't seen a lot about. We're seeing a little bit more of him this season, that's true. Tells you a little bit more.
¿Cómo puedo creer lo que me dices?
Prométeme que no harás nada estúpido. Prométemelo, papa.
Oh, you can see how this is affecting him. He's so tightly in control right now as well. He's like, this is important, but it's tearing him up.
Vete de mi casa.
Yeah, damn. Great acting, Nacho. Again, I just want to see more from him because he's such a good actor. You know, a little note on that, by the way, because I do feel like I've seen a few comments and whatever else about like Vince and these shows they discover such good actors, and it's like, well, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't think that's quite accurate. I do think that the way that they shoot these shows, write these shows, collaborate on these shows, brings out the best in the actors they have. I think that's more accurate to what they're doing. The way that they shoot it's a lot of expressions. They give time for that. A lot of modern media nowadays, it's all dialogue. You know, how do I communicate? Well, say it. Exposition. Right, let's have like a little scene where we have a shot of a forest and there's narrating from the main character that it's filling in everyone about everything that's happened so far. And it's like, you saw me a minute ago talking about how like one line, one expression gives you so much context. That is the exposition. That's the version of exposition this show has, which is so much more effective, so much more organic to the scene and to communicating the story. You know, the storytelling is so much more organic. And I think because of all of those things, the way that the scenes are allowed to breathe, in the sense that you see someone say something and you see the reaction. You see, you know, I remember a couple episodes, maybe 3 episodes ago, Jimmy and Kim were in the restaurant where there were long shots of just Kim deliberating, and you could see the mechanism and the workings of her mind on her face. And do you know what I mean? It's those moments that I'm talking about. That's how these shows, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad operate, in that they allow for that. And because of that, that brings out that in the actor. The way that it's shot, it requires that. It stretches muscles that I think actors don't typically have to stretch in other projects, because other projects don't work in the same way as these do. I'm not trying to take it away from the actors. It's absolutely them doing an amazing job, and it absolutely like makes them shine in the best way they possibly can. And only a good actor can do that. They are obviously all good actors, but I do feel like if more media, if more films, more TV allowed the space for that, you would have a lot more better actors for it. And the better actors would shine in that kind of environment, as they do in these shows. But damn, do you remember that first meeting? First time we saw Daddy-O, and I was like, he's dying, and it's going to affect Nacho really horribly. I see it. If anything, I'm doubling down on that opinion.
From Chuck. It came via messenger.
Okay.
Find someplace special for the retirement party.
I don't think it's going to be that, mate.
And a band. Something jazzy.
Just hang on. Just read it, please. Hold on, Judy, come back. Judy. Is it just like, F you, in big caps? Yeah, buddy, call her back.
God damn it, Chuck.
Judy!
You're suing Hamlin McGill.
Seriously? Hey, he's cooking again. I love to... Do you know what? The feeling that I got when I saw him in the kitchen, cooking with some wine, it brought me back to those moments where he was with Rebecca and all of those flashbacks that we've got. And I felt this, like, immense sense of ease, happiness. Like, this is the thing. There have been some people being like, I've been too harsh on Chuck and all this stuff. And it's like, honestly, no, I don't think I have. I've been judging him, I feel like, appropriately based on what I've seen and the things that he's done. At the same time, I'm genuinely honest about, like, I want to see him get better. I want to see better for him. I want to see him get past these demons. I want to see him get past this mental condition. I want to see him process it and get better with it, which is what I'm seeing right now. I still feel like there's going to be a fall some point later. I do. I think he's running before he can walk. I think he is, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I'm not sure yet. But just to see this here and to see this progress and getting him to leave Jimmy alone, and I think this is the result of that. He stopped thinking about Jimmy and he called a doctor, right? And this is the result. And I love to see this. And this is what I want from him. I feel like it's somewhat performative, a little bit for Howard here. It's really nice to see this. Also structurally, just briefly structurally, the way that the broad strokes of the character arcs are being kind of written right now is really nice. I think it acts as a palate cleanser. I think after Chicanery, it was really important, really integral to kind of get a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room from that. Do you know what I mean? Everything that happened in Chicanery, everything that was building up towards Chicanery, then having that episode, I think was very intense, climactic to that. The Jimmy Chuck dynamic and the brotherly dynamic. I think now each of them having their own largely individual arcs, right? I think it's really healthy for the show. And I think structurally was a really clever, really important decision from a storytelling perspective. And I think does act as like it allows for moments like this where you get Chuck cooking in the kitchen with his wine and we see some progress, right? And he's individual right now. It's not attached to Jimmy. And because of that detachment from those intertwined arcs, even the Jimmy, as much as I'm sad and where that's going, there is part of my mind that's just kind of made my peace with it. I mean, we always knew where he was going from Breaking Bad. I railed against it and argued against it and didn't want it. You know, I have been arguing against it this whole time, but I knew he was going there. As much as it's bad and as much as he is relapsing, and I hate that part of it, that side of it, and the fact that that's happening to him, I knew that was inevitable. I know that's inevitable. The detachment from Chuck is, again, like a little bit of a moment, even when I'm watching his, even though it's distressing. Anyway, sorry, rambling, I am. But what I'm trying to say is that as much as there is intertwining between, like we saw last episode, Howard and Kim, it's new intertwining. We kind of left those two and their relationship for a long time, focused on Jimmy and Chuck, and then we kind of swung back around and we're back on Howard and Kim a little bit. But I think largely all of these characters now in the show are kind of on their individual stuff. Kim, Mesa Verde, and the extra thing. Chuck on his own, you know, with the doctor getting better. Jimmy with the, obviously, relapsing. They're all largely individual, and I think it's so important. So I think it's so healthy, is my larger point, for the show in the structure of how they're telling this story and how they are almost taking a break from what has been so strongly an ingredient of the show up until Chicanery. And I think the way that they've gone in the latter half of season 3 is really strong for that.
This is my firm. I built it. Your father was working in a 2-room office.
Really?
And you, I tutored for the bar exam.
It's interesting how Chuck is throwing in Howard's face what Howard threw in Kim's face. That's exactly what Howard did to Kim. Doesn't feel good, does it, mate? And it also doesn't make it right that Chuck is throwing that in his face, by the way. In the same way, it wasn't right for Howard to do the same to Kim.
But you're gonna have to pay me for my share. I believe it comes to around $8 million.
God.
You'd rather tear down HHM than retire.
You think I'm troubled now? Imagine me as your enemy.
God. It's funny, isn't it, how Howard has been so harsh to Jimmy. You know, he's Jimmy's harshest critic, which I don't blame him for. Chuck now is giving Howard the same treatment that he gave Jimmy. That's what Howard's feeling right now. And maybe actually that will bring him closer to understanding where Jimmy went.
If you'd like to discuss this further, we can in court.
Damn, and again, Chuck falling back into the same. As much as I was just singing his praises and where he is right now, Howard has kind of replaced Jimmy. This isn't healthy for Howard, HHM, or Chuck. And it's like, dude, stop picking fights with people. Stop it. I think Howard should back down and just be like, fine, you got your way. But I don't think Howard would do that. I think we've seen the power play in regards to him and Kim, and I think that does inform you as the audience a little bit of where his mindset is. We also know that his idea of HHM is so integral to who he is and how he acts and decisions he makes. That was why he was trying to get Chuck to retire. Chuck coming for HHM, that's not going to sit right with Howard, and I feel like that's priming Howard for fighting back as opposed to backing down. Chuck and Howard are moving towards a conflict on the same levels that Jimmy and Chuck were at. It's like, God, the same patterns, in it, Chuck? Yeah, and you're not okay, are you, mate?
Blue pot, red wine.
As far as he's come and as well as he's doing, and he is, he's letting his ego still rule him. Again, running before he can walk. Jimmy? Yeah, full on relapse every part of his life. He's giving himself to it.
29. Bet you do.
Oh, bless her. Oh, Irene.
Here comes.
Oh, no. Do you know what, though? Come on, these old ladies shutting her out. This is schoolyard behaviour, you know? Are we not better than this?
New cards.
Is he going to make Irene win? I feel like Irene winning at this point is really going to just drive the nail in the coffin.
I guess so.
All right, well, here.
Yeah.
Just for you.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're absolutely building up at some point in the future. It's going to be a little while, I think, but to him getting burnt, I think that's why he goes to Saul, right? He uses a pseudonym, because I think Jimmy is going to get into a lot of trouble eventually. I'm not saying for this, but...
N31.
Man, Irene's so innocent in this. She's getting so much crossfire. I hate it.
The big eye.
All of the girls are going to be like, oh, of course she won.
Irene, come on up here, dear.
Boom, done.
Fastest bingo of the night. Let's hear it for Irene.
Oh, man. Bless her, yeah. I'd want to hope that this pulls him out of it, but I don't know. This is what he wanted.
I hear them whispering when they think I'm not there.
School ground behaviour.
It's so cruel.
Yeah, it is, Irene. To be fair, like, as much as, like, this is absolutely Jimmy's fault, like, Jimmy for this, those ladies, they should know better. And sorry, but me hearing that from Jimmy, I'd be like, cool beans, cool, thanks, mate. Go talk to Irene and be like, what's the deal with this? You know, none of them did that. Instead, they iced her out. Like, dude, some of that's on them as well. The way that they are behaving towards that information.
Could it be the settlement?
He's going to press it home and he's going to use this and be like, you should settle, and that'll fix it. Boom, done.
Money?
Con of the year.
I didn't know.
Of course you didn't.
I wish we never even started this lawsuit.
Yeah.
I just want everything to go back the way it was.
Bless her.
Should I settle?
I do, by the way, I do just... Sorry. His face. I do just want to put on record that I think if it was any other show and I hadn't watched Breaking Bad before this, I'd be arguing, pleading Jimmy to stop. I think because of my own analysis as well, like I do very much feel like he's on the path of Saul now in a way that he wasn't, considering everything that we've got to thus far. And I do now feel like, especially what I'm seeing with this relapse, this really horrible rock bottom, bless him, relapse that he's been driven to. And I look at it and I'm like, Saul is inevitable. If I didn't have that information, I'd be arguing for him, but I think it's done now. You know, which is really sad, but I think for my own sanity, dealing with my own heartbreak in regard to this, I'm kind of in a position of like, it's happening, get on board. It's unfortunate, but I don't see an alternative now to this. Jimmy never stood a chance. And as much as like I can sit here and condemn Jimmy for the things that he's doing, he's an addict in the throes of relapse. What can I say? Of course it's deplorable. Do I understand why he's doing it? Yeah. Does that make it okay? Of course not. But there's not really much more to be said over that, I think.
Irene?
Think about it a bit more. Pause. Good breath.
You listen to your heart.
Nice. I think he's done it impeccably. This con.
Can I have some more coffee, please?
Coming.
Damn, Kim. This is too much.
Hey, who's ready to have a...
No. No way. That's the drink.
Kim, do you hear me?
That's the Don Eladio drink.
I got big news.
Can you just tell us later?
Mesa Verde can wait.
No, Jimmy. No.
Can I just explain all of this to you later?
Yeah, not the time.
Sandpiper is settling.
No, not the time, Jimmy.
Don't get bogged down in the details.
God, this is so messy. It's all so messy.
Well,
Yeah, good. Now, drinks later, okay?
I can tell that you pulled another all-nighter here.
Doesn't that tell you something, Jimmy? This is the thing. He's so tunnel vision on his own life right now because he doesn't have any other choice. He can't see and he can't take himself out of that and be like, yeah, she is struggling. He's not asking himself, what does Kim need right now? Because he's not in a place to be able to do that. He literally can't.
yeah, Jimmy, I gotta go.
Give me 5 goddamn minutes.
No time.
You're not hearing me.
No, you're not hearing her, dude.
I'll be back in a few hours. Think of all the things you want to say to me and just say them to me later, okay?
Yeah, he's going to read into this. Everything I've been seeing from him so far, he's going to read into this paranoia, this place that he's in, this mental state that he's in. He can't possibly think healthily about this. We know that he's already in a place of, she's disappointed in me. This is going to drive that even deeper, unfortunately. They need to talk, but also Jimmy's in a place where he's very vulnerable right now. It's just, it creates this recipe for disaster.
You. Shots.
No, don't be peer pressured, mate. Oh, I'm sorry. He's your boss. What can you do?
Smooth.
Yeah.
We believe
Come on, you got this.
this offer is more.
I need Kim to kill this. What is it? Oh! Why did I see this coming? Dude, did you fall asleep? Mate. I was just about to, I'm not even kidding, I was just about to say, I feel something coming. Buddy. Oh, buddy. Nothing hit her, nothing, like she fell off the road, she fell asleep, right? Damn, it's all too much. And this is the thing, my brain there was going to be like, she needs the support of Jimmy, but Jimmy's not in a place to give her that support. He's reeling, he's relapsing, he's suffering himself, and they're both feeling the consequences. I say that like it's Jimmy's fault. It's all Jimmy's fault. It's not, right? Kim's also taken on too much. She's not moderating her time and her health. I find it hard. This is the thing, isn't it? It's like the more I think about Breaking Bad and how he's on his own, Jimmy, Saul, maybe, you know, characters we know are knocking about in that time that I don't know about, maybe. But I find it hard to believe that he would have no contact at all with Kim. And we never saw Kim in Breaking Bad, I know. That doesn't have to mean anything. It really doesn't. And there could be, you know, loads of explanations to that, you know, I could sit here and talk about and speculate over. But considering what we've just seen, I'm like, dude, man, I can see this show doing something really heart-wrenching in regard to Kim, in that there's a reason Jimmy, Saul never has any contact with her. You know, is she the one that died? Yeah, I don't know. But damn, I'll leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. That was Fall episode 9. Next week is the finale. If you enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. You will get every Better Call Saul Sunday delivered to your door, mate. Oh, don't you worry, it'll be right there. Anyone is interested in early access videos over on Patreon or my YouTube memberships, which are very new, you get some badges as well. Have a little look at that if you're interested to support me that way. Link in the description. Other than that, thank you once more. Watch this video to keep the hype train going. Dude, thank you so much. Just click on it. Just play it in the background, mute it. I don't care. Just play it, okay? Anyway, thank you. See you next time. See you later.